What is the agenda for today's classes? I'm going to take this session for next 60 minutes. In the next 60 minutes, what you people will understand is you will get complete introduction to Power BI. You'll understand introduction to Power BI. Okay, in order to understand Power BI, first you people need to understand about data analysis. Once you know about data analysis, then only you will understand about what? Power BI. That is the reason first I'll explain what is data analysis. Might be some people are aware of data analysis here. Some people don't know about data analysis, right? So that reason first I'll discuss about what? Data analysis. Then I'll come and explain about what? Power BI. Once you understand what is data analysis, second you will understand what is Power BI. What is Power BI? Once you understand what is Power BI, then you will understand how to perform data analysis using a software called what? Power BI. These are the 3 points you will understand in today's class. Fine. Let's start. First, tell me what is data analysis? Anybody here? Just tell me what is data analysis. Anyway, I'll explain. Before I explain, you just tell me what you know. What is data analysis? Analyze the data and getting the insights out of data. So there will be many definitions available about data analysis. Let me write one of the best definition. I can tell data analysis is a process. Is a what? Process. Whenever I said it's a process, process means collection of steps. What is the meaning for process? Collection of steps. We have multiple steps. Let me show you what are the different steps you will have in the data analysis. I'll just open one image here, or in the Word document I listed what are the different steps available here. So data analysis have how many steps? 5 steps. I will make you understand these 5 steps. What is the first step you see is OLTPs. Second step is ETL. Third step is OLAP. Fourth step is creating reports. Fifth step is sharing the reports to the clients. What is the name for this 5-step process? People are calling this 5-step process name as what? Data analysis. To be more specific, data analysis is a 5-step process. It's a 5-step process. What that 5-step process will do is, data analysis is a 5-step process which converts business data into actionable information. Which converts what? Business data into actionable information. Actionable information. Why the people will use this 5-step process is to convert their company's business data into what? Any company which want to convert their company's business data into a meaningful information or actionable information, they will perform what? Data analysis. Okay, this is the definition. Okay, let me graphically show you how these 5 steps will look like. I write these 5 steps, right? First step is OLTP. Second step is ETL. Third step is OLAP. Fourth step is create reports. Fifth step is share reports to the clients, right? Let me graphically show reports to the clients. Let me show you how this 5-step process will look like. I'm just opening one more image here. This image, we get data analysis also known as business intelligence. Wherever you see business intelligence or what? Data analysis, both are same. Both will contain how many steps we are telling? 5 steps. What are the 5 steps? OLTP second step, ETL third step, OLAP fourth step, create reports or visuals fifth step, sharing the two guides. This is how that graphically will look like. You people will understand this. Before I explain this 5 steps, what are these 5 steps? What OLTP means? What ETL means? What is OLAP? What reports? Let's start like this. Who will perform this data? Who will use this data analysis? Okay, data analysis is there. Who will use it? Who? Huh?
Company.
So you came late. I said that in order to understand Power BI, first we need to understand about what? Data analysis. We'll discuss it. You wait. So in order to understand Power BI, we need to understand what? Data analysis. That is the reason first we are understanding what? Data analysis. We'll come there. Let me complete about data analysis and we'll switch into what? Power BI. Whatever the questions you have, please make a note of them. At the end, I'll answer every question. Okay, now who will use this data analysis? Who will use this data analysis is, okay, each and every company, no matter each and every company will perform data analysis. No matter whether the company is a big company or small company, every company need to perform what? Data analysis. Data analysis is such an important thing for every company. Why? I'll tell you. Okay, let us discuss this in detail. But take when there is any company. Tell me a few random company names. Flipkart is one company. Amazon is one company. If I keep on writing the company names, I can write thousands and lakhs of company names. ICICI is one company. In this list, I'll add this training institute also. Analytics Benchmark is one company. So if I keep on writing company names, we can write lakhs of company names. When there is any company, the company will do what? Business. You take any company that will do some business. Flipkart is doing what type
Hello.
of business? E-commerce. Amazon is doing what type of business? E-commerce. ICICI is doing what business? Banking. Analytics Benchmark this into educational institute into the education sector, right? So you name any company that will do one business. Some companies will do automobile business. Some companies will do uh, a retail business, healthcare business. Like this, lot of business they will do. When a company is doing the business, they'll get what? Business data. Company will get the so when Flipkart is doing e-commerce business, what type of data it will generate? Tell me examples for the business data. First, yes, orders related data, returns related data, customers related data, and then products related data. Flipkart will sell what? Products related data, sales related data. If I keep on writing, I can write lot of data. uh, any company when it is doing any business, it will produce what? Business data. In the same way, you tell me ICICI is doing banking business. What type of data they'll generate? Day-to-day transactions related data, savings account customers data, credit card related data, loans related data, lot of other data they'll get. So you tell me analytics benchmark, we are into the education sector, right? We also get the business data. What is the business data for us? The most important business data, the customers are students here. What are that? Students data, faculty related data, courses related data, fee related, tomorrow when you pay, fee related data. All this is are the business data for us. When a company is getting the business data, that will be stored, guys. Some companies will store the business data in the Excel files. The who have less volumes of data, they'll store in where? Files. Some companies will store data in their what? SQL Server database. Some companies will store data in where? Oracle database. Some, not only these three places, I just take these three as examples. Some companies will store in MySQL database. Some companies will store in DB2 database. Some companies will store in some cloud somewhere. So companies will store the data, must and should. Even when you inquiry about this course, when you provided your name, your email ID and mobile number, my team carefully stored it in Excel file. Okay. Every company must and should, what they need to do when they're getting the business data, they need to store the data. They need to store the data. So most important asset for any company is their business data. Must and should, we need to carefully store it. Wherever we store that business data, we generally call it as data source. Companies where they store the business data, they call it as what? Data
Data
source.
source.
Some people will call it as OLTP also. I'll talk about it. Wherever companies are storing the data, that I can call it as either a data source or either a OLTP.
OLTP.
Why they are calling it as OLTP, I'll talk about it. So once the business data is stored, what is the next step is they want to analyze the data. What they want to do?
Analyze
Analyze
the
the data.
data.
Analyzing the data means they want to understand where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. Let's say Flipkart is selling 100 products. How many products? 100 products. Imagine. In that 100 products, which products are selling good, which products are selling bad. Understanding that, we call it as what? Analyzing the data.
Analyze.
Let's say ICICI branch is operating in 1,000 branches. How many branches? 1,000 branches.
1,000.
They want to analyze the data to understand which branches are doing good, which branches are doing bad. So they need to, why the companies need to analyze the data? Companies need to analyze the data to take better business decisions. Why companies need to analyze the data? Companies need to analyze the data to take better decisions.
Decision.
Let me give an example about this line. Let's say currently ICICI is operating in 1,000 branches. Out of 1,000 branches, They want to close 10 branches. What they need to do? Close 10 branches. Will they randomly go and pick the 10 branches and close it, or what they'll do?
They'll do the analysis first.
First, they want to take 1,000 branches data and they want to do what? Analyze the
Analysis.
data. When you analyze the data, you'll understand where we are doing good and where we are doing what? Bad. They
But
will go and pick the branches which are doing bad and they'll close it. In order to take this decision, without analyzing the data, I cannot take the decision. That's what I written here. Companies need to what? Analyze the data to take what? Better decisions. Any company without analyzing the data, if they take the decisions, they might take wrong decisions. Just imagine if I randomly pick 10 branches here, I might pick the branch which is doing good. So then there will be impact on the business or not? Yes. So here, okay, you are telling that companies need to analyze the data in order to take what? Better decisions, right? In order to analyze the data, companies required something called reports. What they required? Reports.
reports.
Companies required reports for what purpose? Reports to what?
Analyze the data.
Analyze the data. If
Data.
by using what companies will analyze the data is by using the reports. Let me show you how the reports will look like. I'm just trying to show you how the reports will look like. Some sample reports I am going to show you. I'm just opening Power BI to just show how the sample reports will look like. I'm opening artificial intelligence sample, corporate spend report, e-commerce sales analysis report. I'm just opening some sample reports here. Regional sales sample. I just opened a couple of reports, right? Let's go and see that report here. First, I'm opening, try to understand the terminology here. Here, each one we call it is one visual. Line chart is one visual here. Column chart is one visual. Donut chart is one visual. Scatter chart is one visual. Map is one visual. And these are card visuals. Each one we call it as visual. All the visuals together we call it as a what? Report. What is the name
Dashboard.
of the report? E-commerce
E-commerce.
sales report. Slices are the visuals. So report contains multiple visuals in it. These visuals will tell us where we are doing good and where we are doing bad. You see there is one of the visual here. What is the visual you have is in this visual, what is the information you are showing? Month-wise sales.
Analysis.
By going to this visual, you can understand which month we are doing more sales and which month we are doing less sales. Which month we are doing more sales? November is the
November.
month where we have more sales. Which month we are doing less sales? February is the month
Yes.
which we are doing less sales. This kind of visuals will help us to understand where we are doing good, what, where we are doing bad. Based on that, I can take what? Decisions. Let's say, what is the decision my company need to take here is, usually that company will do very good in what? November month. In November month, they need to maintain what? Stock. If they don't maintain the proper stock in the November month, they will lose the customers or not. That is the decision they need to take. So in February month, what happens when they maintain more stock? When they maintain more stock, they'll get into the losses. Generally, that month they will see less sales. So such kind of decisions they'll take. Let me show you another example. I'm just going to another visual. In this visual, you guys are showing what information? You guys are showing subcategory wise sum of profits. This visual will tell us my company is selling a lot of subcategories like copiers, phones, chairs, tables, like this. So this visual will tell us which subcategories are generating highest profits. Which subcategory? Copiers is the one where we have highest profit. Second highest profit, phones. Lowest profit, tables. Tables is generating how much profit? Minus 18K. Profit number in minus is what? Loss. I can see suppliers bookcases also have negative numbers. Negative numbers means losses. So when I share this with my company people, this visual, my company people will come to know where we are doing good, where we are doing what? Bad. Based on that, they can take what? Decisions. So if you are the owner of the company, what decision you will take? One of the decision you want to take is stop selling what? Suppliers, bookcases, and tables as they're getting what? Losses. You either stop and you either think what you need to overcome. Next, what is another decision you will take? I want to concentrate more on what business? Copiers and phones as they're generating what? Huge profits. That kind of decisions I want to take. So what you need to understand finally here, companies need to analyze the data to take what? Decisions. To analyze the data, they required what? Reports. This kind of reports they required. So I'm just showing how the report will look like. This is one of the report. Just have an idea how the report will look like. This is one of the report. This kind of reports companies required to analyze the data. This kind of reports. Okay. This is another report. I'm just trying to show how the reports will look like. So any company which need to create the reports, they need to perform complete process called data analysis. People will think that we'll directly go and create what? Reports. Generally, we don't create reports directly. Before we create the reports, we need to do what? ETL. We need to create what? OLAP, and then we need to create what? Reports. So reports will in order to create the report, first we need to mandatorily do this. We'll talk about it. Any company which need to create the reports, they need to perform what? Data analysis. Companies to create the reports need to perform. Companies to create reports. Companies to create what? Reports need to perform what? Data analysis process. Data analysis process. Now let me consolidate these 3 points. You name any company, that company need to perform what? Data analysis. Why that company need to perform data analysis is? Companies are performing data analysis to create what? Reports. Why company need to create reports? To analyze the data. To analyze the data. Why company need to analyze the data? To take
Take
better
better decision.
decisions. Any company, in order to take better decisions, what they need to do? They need to analyze the data. To analyze the data, what they need to create? Reports. To create the reports, what they need to perform? Data analysis. That is the reason every company will perform data analysis. Using that, they'll create reports. Using that, they'll analyze the data. Using that analysis, they'll take what? Decisions. This is a mandatory process for every company. Why there are a lot of jobs in the data analysis is, each and every company must and should they need to analyze the data in order to run the business successfully, right? Okay, this is about data analysis, guys. We got an idea what a data analysis will contains. Now let's try to understand this 5 steps. Now data analysis contains how many steps? 5 steps, right? So before I explain 5 steps, who is data analyst? Who is data? When you are talking about data analysis, we will be hearing about data analyst, right? Data analyst. Who is data analyst? Who is data analyst is the person who perform data analysis is a data analyst. The person who performs what? Data analysis is a what? Data analyst. The person who do this ETL, who create the OLAP database, who create the reports, who share the reports to the clients, that person name is what? Data analyst. Okay. Now in data analysis, first step is what we are telling? OLTP. Let's try to understand what OLTP means. What is the full form for OLTP? Online transactional processing. Let's talk for 2 minutes about this OLTP. The place where company stores business data. Company stores business data. We call as OLTP. We call as what? OLTP. Wherever companies are storing, if my company is storing the business data in the SQL server, we can call SQL server as one OLTP. If my company is storing the business data in the Oracle database, we can also call Oracle as what? OLTP. What is the reason they're calling with that name is business data. Another name is transactional data. What is the business data? We call it as transactional data. Business data also, some companies call it as business data. Some companies call it as what? Transaction data. Take an example. I go to Flipkart website. In the Flipkart website, I placed an order. What you placed? Order. Order is nothing but a transaction. Order is nothing but a what? Transaction. When you place an order or transaction, it will produce what? That order will produce what? Business data. That order will produce what? Transactional data. Order is a transaction. The transaction will produce what? Transactional data. So why you got this name is in OLTP, what you are doing? You are storing what? Transactional data. As you are storing transactional data, they are calling it as what? Online transaction process. In short, they call it as what? OLTP. Don't think much about this. These are just names. So my name is Sunil. For identity purpose, they kept some name. For everything, we required identity. So software field, for identity purpose, for everything, they will give name. Microsoft developed one product. to do data analysis. And they name that product name as what? Power BI. Just they need one name. They might keep Power BI. They can keep whatever name. It's just a name for what? Identity purpose. Why you have your name? Identity purpose.
Identity
Might be
purpose.
that name will have some meaning, certain meaning. Here they also tell Power BI. Meaning is you can do business intelligence with power. Might be certain meaning. That's it. There is no much. It is just a name. Here also, OLTP is just a name. Software,
Name.
in software field, everything will have certain name. The place where companies are storing what? Business data or
Business
transaction
data.
data, we call it as what? OLTP.
OLTP.
Every company will have one or multiple OLTPs. One or multiple
Multiple OLTP.
OLTPs to store what?
Business
Business
data.
data or transactional data. To store what? Business data or transactional data. Why multiple? What we are trying to tell is some companies will have only one OLTP. Some companies will have what? Multiple OLTPs.
Multiple.
What is the reason? The reason is might be some companies will have different data. You take ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank have lot of different data. They'll have savings account data. They'll have credit card data. They might not be storing this both the data in a single place. Instead of that, they might store savings account data in the SQL Server, credit card data in where? Oracle database. Take an example. How many OLTPs they are storing the data?
Two.
Multiple OLTPs. See, there are some companies might be they store both the data in single place also. Companies will store their data either in what? One or multiple
More than two.
OLTPs. So some companies will store their data in one or multiple OLTPs. OLTPs contains what data?
Business
Business
data.
data, guys.
Or
OLTPs contains what?
transactional data.
Business data.
Transactional data.
Now I go to Flipkart website. In the Flipkart website, when I place the order, Flipkart website, when you place the order, Flipkart website will link to one OLTP in the backend. As soon as you place the order, that order data will go and store it here. That OLTP might be anything. That OLTP might be MySQL database, might be SQL Server database, no matter. Anything it is, wherever we are storing the data, it is a what? OLTP. Company to company, they might store in different places. But every front-end application will in the backend link with what? On OLTP. Link
OLTP.
with what? OLTP.
OLTP.
So now companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to the data analyst. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to whom?
Data analyst.
Data analyst, and ask to create what? Reports to what? To analyze the
Provide the
data. To
business.
analyze the data. So, okay. Just a second, guys. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs. Who will provide these OLTPs to the data analyst? Company.
Company.
Data analyst need to create them or company will hand over it. Company will give it. Once company provide OLTPs, what they will ask? Create reports. For
Create a
what
report
purpose?
to
To analyze
analyze
the
the
data.
data. To perform the
Important
business
point is,
requirement.
it is never recommended to go and create reports directly on OLTPs. I'll just write one point and then I'll explain. Make a note. It is never recommended to create reports directly on where? OLTPs.
OLTP
Guys.
data.
What is the reason? Okay, when company provided OLTP, I'm telling that it is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTP. There are many reasons. Tell me if you know any reasons why we don't create reports on OLTPs. What
Maybe the
went wrong?
data are not in structured form.
Huh? Crashes.
In
Even this OLAP also crashes. They will have backups. What is the reason? It is never recommended to go and create reports on OLTPs.
unstructured
No.
data.
Unstructured data. The major reason OLTPs why we don't use is OLTPs generally have raw data or unstructured data. Raw data or what? This is the
Unstructured.
major reason. There are other reasons also. Lot of other reasons are there. Why we don't use. In the upcoming classes, I'll discuss. For now, the major reason why we don't use OLTPs is OLTPs contains what?
Raw data or unstructured data.
Unstructured data or raw data. I'll discuss what is unstructured data, why unstructured data will come to OLTP. I'll discuss. As I have unstructured data is not useful for what? create the
To create
reports.
a
That is the
report.
reason we don't create the reports directly on OLTPs. Then what data analysts need to do? Now data analysts need to go and create a new database. It's a new database which will be developed from the scratch. What is the database we need to develop? OLAP. So now data analysts need to create a new database called OLAP. That OLAP, generally we will use it for what?
To
Creating the
create a
reports.
report.
As OLTP is not useful for creating the reports, I need one database which is best suitable for creating the reports. That is OLAP. Who will create this OLAP? OLAP will be provided by the company or data analyst? Data analyst, right? That point. Now, data analysts need to create a new database. Data analyst need to create a new database called what?
Lab.
OLAP. Now let's talk about OLAP for just 1 minute. OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing. I'll tell you how you got this name. OLAP stands for what? Online Analytical Processing. Now it's a brand new database which will be created by the data analyst. Now we need to move the data from OLTP database to what? OLAP database. To
OLAP.
move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database, we require some software called what? ETL.
ETL.
To move data from, just concentrate for 2 minutes, you'll get the idea. To move data from OLTP to where? OLAP, we need what software? ETL software. What ETL full form? Extract, transform, load. So, okay, we are telling that we need to move the data from OLTP to OLAP, and that data what you moved, you need to use in where?
To create
Reports.
a report.
What data we need to move to the OLAP is, you need to get into the OLAP only data which you need to use for what? Creating
Create
the
report.
reports. Let's say in OLTP I have 100 tables. Just imagine how many tables are there?
100.
100 tables are there. In 100 tables, you have the business data. But out of 100 tables, in the reports, client want to see only 10 tables data. How many tables data? Tell
10
me,
tables.
now you need to bring from OLTP to OLAP 100 tables or 10 tables? Only 10 tables.
10
While
tables.
bringing the data to the OLAP, we need to bring only data that is used for what? Creating the reports. That data, we call it as data required for analysis purpose. Data required for what? Data which you used in the reports. We call it as data required for what?
Analysis
Analysis.
purpose.
So in OLAP, what you are storing is, in OLAP, you will store analytical data. What data?
Analytical.
Analytical data. So data required for analysis, we call it as what?
OL.
Analytical
Lab.
data. What you are storing here? Analytical data. As you are storing analytical data, we are calling it as what? Online
Analytical.
analytical processing.
Analytical.
In short, we are calling it as what? OLAP.
OLAP.
So when it comes to OLAP, OLAP will have the data in, not in the unstructured, you will have in what? Structured.
Structured.
OLAP is getting the data from where?
OLTP.
OLTP only. But you are telling OLTP contains what? Unstructured. But
Unstructured
when it
data.
comes to OLAP, how it becomes structured is because of what? ETL. If you directly
ETL.
load from OLTP to OLAP, with, if you bypass ETL, if you directly load, OLAP will get structured or unstructured?
Unstructured.
Unstructured. As you move through what? ETL. ETL
ETL.
stands for extract.
Extract.
Extract how many tables you want. T stands for transform.
Transform.
Transform means convert unstructured to what? Structured.
Structured
That you
form.
load into where? OLAP. Now
OLAP.
OLAP will have only data required for what? Analysis. That too
Analysis.
in which format? Structured. That I
Structured
can
form.
use in where? Creating
Report
the
creating.
reports. Now let's try to understand what is unstructured data in simple, why it is not useful for creating the reports, what is structured data, why it is best suitable for creating the reports. With small example, I'll explain. I just take 2 minutes and I'll explain it. Look at this slide. Take this first table. This is how the data generally will be in the OLTPs. Second table is what? OLAP. How data is moving from OLTP to OLAP? Through what software you are moving the data? ETL. In between, you will get ETL, I said, right? Generally, in the OLTP, data will come from multiple people, guys. In the Flipkart website, one customer will place the order or hundreds of customers will place the order? Hundreds of customers. When I ask hundreds of customers to write their country name, do you think that every person will write the same way? No, one person will write the country name like what? United States. Second person, US, U.S. US. USA. All these are from which country? United States.
United
But they
States.
entered in a different format or not? So this is what unstructured data means. One person like enter like United Kingdom, second person enter like UK. But when you move this data from ETL tools to OLAP, everywhere you are having what? United States. In T is there, right? The most important in ETL is what? Transform. The transform will convert US to what? United States. That will convert U dot S dot to what? United States. US dot to United States. USA to United States. So now in OLAP, data will be in the single format. We call it as what? Structured data. So now you got an idea what is unstructured, as it is getting from different people, might be entered in different formats. What is structured, you understand. Now go to the next slide to understand better. I'm just going to the next slide. Now this is the OLTP table. This is what? OLTP. I'm trying to create this visual directly on OLTP. Directly on what? OLTP. So what you are trying to show? Country-wise sum of sales. When I share this visual with my company people said this report is wrong or visual is wrong. Why this visual is wrong? So they're expecting only 2 sales values here. They're expecting to see how many countries here? 2 countries, and they want to see only what? 2 sales values, because they're doing the business in how many countries? 2 countries. They want to see sales for only 2, but it is telling that 7 countries are there, 7 sales. Can I do any analysis using this visual? No. The problem is not with the visual. The problem is with what? Data. That is the reason I said that we don't go and create reports directly on OLTP. If you forcefully create it, you'll get meaningless results. So now go to the next slide. This is how the data will be in where? After doing ETL, this is how the data you got. This is what? OLAP. OLAP. When I try to create the same visual here, I'm trying to show what? Country-wise sales. It will group all the United States as one value, and it will sum all this 5 sales value into one. When you sum these 5 numbers into one, how much you are getting? 1500. It will group these 2 values into one, and it will add 100 plus 200. How much? 300. When I shared this visual with my company people said this visual is correct. We are doing the business in how many countries? 2 countries. United States is doing more sales. United Kingdom is doing less sales. Can I do some analysis here? Yes, that's what, guys. So when company provided OLTPs, there are more chances you will have what? Unstructured data. If you try to go and create reports, you will get wrong results. That is the reason first you need to take the data to where? ETL. In ETL, what you need to do? Clean the data or transform the data. Clean the data or that clean data we will store in where? OLAP. That data we will use it for what? Creating reports. Now you guys are seeing these reports, right? These reports will be created on OLTP or OLAP. Always we create reports on what? OLAP. Now, I hope you got an idea what is OLTP, what it contains, what is ETL, what we do there, what is OLAP, what it will store there. You understand. Now, that OLAP we use for what? Creating the reports. The information which you shown in the reports, we call that information as actionable information. What is the name of the information you seen in the report? Actionable information. Why we call this as actionable information is using the information in the reports, companies will take actions or decisions, guys. See, I said that whatever the data you guys are seeing in this visual, we call that information as what? Actionable information. Why we call it as actionable information is when I share this information with my clients will take what? Decisions. Decisions, another name is what? Actions. By using the information in the visual, clients are taking the decisions or actions. That is the reason I call it as what? Actionable information. Now go and try to read the definition of data analysis, what I given in the starting. What is the definition I given for data analysis? Data analysis is a 5-step process which converts what? Business data into, where do you have business data? OLTPs. Where do you have actionable information? Reports. To convert the business data into actionable information, first we need to do what? ETL. First major work for the data analyst is what? Doing ETL. Second major work, creating OLAP database. Third major work, creating reports. These are the 3 reports, three steps, major works for a data analyst, guys. Now, last few minutes, we understand what is data analysis. I said that once you know about data analysis, then you can start learning what? Power BI. So let's start with understanding Power BI now. What is Power BI? Who developed Power BI? Sorry, guys. Microsoft. So we'll try to understand what is Power BI. Who developed Power BI is Microsoft is the company developed Power BI. Microsoft Power BI. So Microsoft developed Power BI for what purpose? To perform Data analysis. Microsoft developed Power BI to perform this 5 steps, guys. To perform what? 5 steps. Microsoft understand that every company is required this 5 steps. Every company required to perform what? Data analysis. What? Please be on mute. Every company required to perform what? Data analysis. To do the data analysis, Microsoft developed a software called what? Power BI. So here, Power BI is not the name of single software. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Name for what? Collection of softwares. You take an example. We have MS Office. What you have? MS Office. MS Office is not the name of single software. It is the name for what? Collection of software. Might be from intermediate. Sometime you are using MS Office. What are the different softwares you have? Word, Excel, PowerPoint. There are other softwares also. For all the softwares together, they given the name called what? MS Office. You tell me why they given this name. You ask what is Power BI, why they given the name, right? It is just a name. BI means business intelligence. We learned it, right? I said that this 5 steps is what? Data analysis or business intelligence. To do this business intelligence, Microsoft developed a product called what? Power BI. So they just given the name. Okay. Now, what is Power BI? Power BI is the name for what? Collection of softwares, not the name of single software. It have multiple softwares in it. What are the different softwares available is? First software available in what? Power BI desktop. Second software available is what? Power BI service. Third software available is Power BI report server. Power BI report server. Fourth software available is Power BI mobile. For these 4 softwares, Microsoft given the name called what? Power BI, guys. So even though you have 4 softwares here, among the 4 softwares, the major software is Power BI desktop, guys. What is the major software? Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop is a development software in Power BI. Let me discuss one thing here. You people join today's course to learn Power BI. You people are here to learn what? Power BI. My team said that you can learn Power BI. In order to learn Power BI, it will take how much time, my team said? 2 months. After 2 months, you will become a Power BI data analyst. Power BI, people who learn Power BI, they call it as what? Power BI data analyst. After you become a Power BI data analyst, you will go and join one company. You'll join what? Any one company. Any one of the company you'll join. What you need to do in that company is, in that company, you need to do what? Data analysis. Using what software? Using Power BI. Tomorrow, when you learn Power BI for 2 months, if you become a data analyst, you will join the company where you need to do data analysis. Data analysis contains how many steps, sir? 5 steps. To do that 5 steps, you will use what there? Power BI, right? Now, among these 5 softwares, the major software is Power BI desktop. When you become a Power BI data analyst, 90% of time you will work in Power BI desktop only. The remaining 3 softwares are there, right? They are small softwares where we will work 3 softwares together. How much time? 10% of time. The major software is what? Power BI desktop. Let's try to understand this Power BI desktop better. I'll just open Power BI architecture slide to make you understand Power BI desktop better. I just open Power BI architecture slide. This is what? Power BI desktop. This Power BI desktop again internally contains 3 more products. One is what? Power Query. Second one is what? Power Pivot. Third one is what? Power View. These 3 softwares are internally available in where? Desktop. Write them. First write them. First software you have in Power BI desktop is what? Power Query. Second software? Power Pivot. Power Pivot. Third software? Power View. Power View. These are the, I clearly wrote what softwares are internally available in where? In Power BI, we have totally 4 softwares. Again, in Power BI desktop, you have 3 more softwares, right? We write it. So we need to use all the softwares and we need to do what? Using all the 5 softwares, we need to perform what? Using all the softwares available here, we need to perform this data analysis. We need to perform what? Data analysis. Now tell me, who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? Companies will give it. We no need to do anything here. Company already will have them. They will hand over it to what? Power BI data. What is the first step Power BI data analyst need to do? ETL. What you need to do? So he understands that OLTP contains what? Unstructured data. He need to clean the data, or he need to transform the data. Where he will do? ETL. So we need to do that ETL in Power BI. Power BI have many softwares, right? Out of many softwares, which software we use to do ETL is Power Query. First thing you need to know which particular software I'll use to do what? ETL. Here, Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. In Power BI, only place we do ETL is what? Power Query. You look at this Power Query. Power Query is used to do what? ETL. Power Query will connect to the data source. Company is storing, let's say company is storing the data in SQL Server. It will connect and it will extract the data. Once it extract the data into Power Query, it will transform the data. It will extract the tables here. It will clean the data in the tables. The tables will be loaded into where? Power Pivot. Okay. So now we understand that we'll perform ETL in where? Power Query. After performing ETL, what is the next step Power BI data analyst need to do? You need to create OLAP database. That data we need to store it one where. So where we will create this OLAP is in a software called what? Power Pivot. Here, Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a database which is used to create what? OLAP. Now, try to understand how SQL Server is one database, how Oracle is one database. Power Pivot is also a similar kind of database. How you will store the data in SQL Server in the form of tables? How you will store the data in the Oracle form of tables? Power Pivot also stored data in the form of what? Tables. Now you extracted tables, right? You transform the data in the tables, right? The tables you are loading into where? Power Pivot. The tables what you load into Power Pivot, in Power Pivot it will store the tables. How the Power Pivot can store the tables is because it's a database. Because it's a what? Database. It's a Microsoft database only. Here, Power Pivot is a database which is used to create what? OLAP. Whatever the tables I loaded into Power Pivot, using the tables I'll design what? OLAP. Okay, now we understand ETL will be performed in where? Power Query. OLAP database will be created in where? Power Pivot. What is the next step? Create reports. To create the reports, we will use a software called what? Power View. Power View is a software which is used to create the reports. Power View is a software which is used to create reports. Huh? Which is used to create the reports. Power View is used to create what? Visual report. That report contains what? Actionable information. Finally, you need to share with whom? Clients. Power BI desktop cannot share the reports directly to the clients. In order to share the reports to the clients, either we need to publish it to Power BI service. From there, we need to share with the clients, or either we need to publish it to Power BI report server. From there, we need to share with whom? Clients. So what we are trying to tell, directly Power BI desktop cannot share the report to whom? Clients. To share it, either we need to move it to Power BI service or report server, we need to share it. So what we are trying to tell is last step is sharing the reports to whom? Clients. I am telling that we need to use either Power BI service or what? Power BI report server. You need to get one question here. Why there are two softwares to do the same work? Why not only one? So if you see, to do ETL, I have only what? Power Query. To create OLAP, I have only what? Power Pivot. To create reports, I have only what? Power View. But to share the reports, you have two softwares. One is Power BI service. Second one is what? Report server. What is the difference is? Here one is a cloud. One is what? Cloud. Second one is what? On-premise. No company will use both of them. A company will choose either a cloud. A company will choose either a what? On-premise. 99% of the companies, they are choosing cloud. For what purpose? Share the reports to the clients. 1% of the companies, they're using what? On-premise to share the reports to the client. Right that point? Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based software which is used to share the reports to the clients. Which is used to what? Share reports to the clients. How much percentage I said? 99% of companies, they use Power BI service only. Power BI report server is what? Power BI report server, I said it's a on-premise software. It's an on-premise software which is used to what? Share the reports to the clients. How much percentage of companies are using? Only 1%. In the coming classes, I'll discuss why most of the companies are using cloud, why not on-premise, what is the advantages of cloud. I'll discuss it. Okay, now what we understand is in Power BI Desktop, in Power View, after I create the report, most of the companies will publish it to where? Power BI service, and from there they'll share with whom? Clients. Now clients want to see the reports what I shared. So you think like this. I send an Gmail to you. I logged into my Gmail. I send a Gmail to you. Where are the places you can check the Gmail? To check that Gmail, you can open the laptop and you can check it. You can open the desktop and you can check it. You can even check in mobiles or not. Yes. Here also same. When I share the reports to my client, client can check that reports using their laptops. Client can check the reports using their desktops. Even they can check the reports in where? Mobile. In order to check anything in the mobile, they required a mobile app. What they required? Mobile app. Microsoft developed a mobile app called Power BI Mobile. If you go to Play Store or App Store, search with the name called what? Power BI Mobile. You'll find a mobile app. What is the purpose of this mobile app? It's a mobile app which is used to view reports in where? Mobiles. Not only mobiles, even in the tabs or iPads. If you want to view them in tabs or iPads, you require a mobile app. So Microsoft developed a mobile app for iOS. We have mobile app for iOS. We have mobile app for what? Android. We have Windows mobile app also. We can use. Who will install this mobile app? Developers or clients? Clients. Clients are the one who need to view it, right? Now tell me, these are the different softwares available in Power BI. Using the softwares, can I perform this complete data analysis? Possible, yes or no? Yes. Who will provide OLTPs? Companies. Where we do ETL? Power Query. Where we will create OLAP? Power Pivot. Where you will create reports? Power View. How you will share the reports to the clients? Mostly with Power BI service. Where clients will consume? In the mobile apps. Nowadays, people are consuming the data in mobiles, right? Now, Power BI is the name for what? Collection of softwares which are used to perform. It will not only create reports, it will perform complete data analysis. What? So when someone asks you, tell me what is Power BI, the best definition for Power BI is what? Power BI is the name for what? Collection of softwares. For this all softwares, Microsoft given the name called what? Power BI. That collection of softwares we are using for what purpose? Performing the data analysis. Okay. Now I completed explaining what is data analysis, what is Power BI. Let me conclude these 2 points into one single line. In single line, I'll combine this. Now go and try to write how to perform data analysis using what? Power BI. How to perform data analysis. One of the most important thing for every company is what? Data analysis. To perform that, nowadays, most of the companies are using what? Power BI. Believe me, almost every company is using what? Power BI to perform what? Data analysis. So who will provide the OLTPs? First step is in data analysis, OLTPs. Companies will provide you. Second step in the data analysis is what? ETL. Where you will perform ETL, I said? Using what software? Power Query. In Power BI, where you will perform ETL is Power Query. Next one is creating OLAP database. In data analysis, third step is OLAP. Using Power Pivot. Using Power Pivot. Next step after creating OLAP is what? Create reports. Using what software? Power View. Using Power View. Last step is what? Share reports to the clients. Share reports to clients. To share the reports to the clients, you'll use what? Mostly Power BI service. Power BI service. What you need to learn to get the job on Power BI is, first you need to learn how to do ETL in where? Power Query. Then you need to learn how to create OLAP database in where? Power Pivot. Then you need to learn how to create reports in where? Power View. Then you need to learn how to share the reports using what? Power BI service. If you learn these steps, then you can get the job as what? Power BI developer. Okay. Now, so we completed understanding what is Power BI, introduction to Power BI. Now, I'll discuss some general points to get the job on Power BI. To get the job on Power BI, I'll just go and discuss some general points, guys. Now, technically, we are done. You need to know some important points in order to get the job on Power BI. Let me explain that. So instead of typing them, I'll just copy paste from previous batch notepad, previous demo notepad, instead of typing them, and then I'll explain. It doesn't take much time. It hardly take few seconds of time. Let me copy paste this. Oh, these general points are important. In order to learn Power BI, these points are important. Don't drop, guys. Okay. So first point I need to tell this, when I'm going to start the batch. Today I completed introduction, right? When the regular batch will start. Regular batch will start on what? 3rd March. In another 3-4 days. So 3rd March is what? Tuesday. At what time I'm going to start the batch? 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Every day 1 hour. For the next 2 months, batch timings is this. So how you guys attended today's class for free? You can attend 2 more classes for free. Continuation to today's class on what? 3rd March, I said. What? You can attend 3rd and 4th classes free. These 2 classes also what classes? Free classes. What timings? Morning 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. What I'm going to discuss in the 2 classes is, I'll start what? Practicals. Today we discussed theoretically, right? In the next 2 classes, we will learn practically. So Power BI developer work will start in which software? Power BI desktop. This data will be provided by the company or not? Our work will start in desktop. So in the next class, I'll tell you how to install Power BI desktop. What I'll tell first? How to install Power BI desktop. Once you install, I'll tell you how to open Power Query, how to do what? ETL. Practically, you learn what ETL means. Then I will learn in Power Pivot how to create what? OLAP. Then you will learn in Power View how to create what? Visual report. Then you will learn how to publish that report to Power BI service, how to share with what? Clients. Whatever I theoretically discussed today, in the next 2 free classes, you will learn them what? Practically. They will not cost you anything. If you join next 2 classes, you will practically understand what Power BI will do. So next 2 classes, you will understand practically at a high level how Power BI software will work. You will learn in what? Next 2 free classes. Okay, now you are going to get one mail. After a few minutes, you people will get one mail, guys. What that mail will contain is, first thing you'll have in the mail is what? Recorded session. In the mail, I'm going to share the recorded session, and also I will attach what? Notepad. In the last 1 hour, I write a lot of notes here, right? I'm going to attach this notepad also in the mail. Not only you will get video and notepad, you'll get introduction class Word document. Every class I'm going to provide materials, guys. This is the introduction class material. This kind of Word document you will get for every class, where you'll find the explanation about that class. And you also get what? Course content. In the mail, I'm going to attach course content, guys. This course content I'm going to attach in the mail. You people will get this course content also. So this course content, what is the duration of the course? 60 hours. In the 60 hours of time, what topics I'm going to cover, I listed here. You please walk through it. It have how many pages? 11 pages. Now I will not go and walk through point by point, but let me tell you here. The course duration is how much? 60 hours. It will take more than 2 months to cover, guys, because classes will be from where? Monday to Saturday. Every day, what timings? So, daily 1 hour, 7:30 to 8:30, Monday to Saturday. In that case, Sunday is holiday. It will take what? 60 hours to complete the 60 hours. It will take what? More than 2 months. Let me tell you what I'm going to cover in the 60 hours. In the 60 hours, you will learn how to perform what? Data analysis using a software called what? Power BI. That's what you will learn in the 60 hours, more than 2 months. I can confidently tell you, when you learn this, you can keep 3 to 5 years of experience on Power BI. That much knowledge you will gain from the 60 hours training, guys. 3 to 5 years experience. Now, okay. So this is the data analysis. How we will do in Power BI. This 5 steps you will do in Power BI, right? Let me tell you breakdown. Who will provide the OLTPs? I said companies. We don't want to do anything. What is the first step Power BI data analysts need to do? ETL. In what software? Power Query. You will start learning Power Query for how many hours? 13 hours. What you will learn there? How to do the ETL. There you will learn about one language called M language or mashup language. Okay. After ETL, what is the next step? Creating OLAP database. Where you will create that OLAP database? Power Pivot. So you will start learning Power Pivot for how many hours? 17 hours. What you will learn there? How to create OLAP database. There you will learn data modeling concepts, data warehousing concepts, and another important language called what? DAX language. So you will learn this for how many hours? 17 hours. After creating OLAP database, what is the next step Power BI developer will do? Create reports using what software? Power View. You will start learning Power View for how many hours? 17 hours. What you will learn there? How to create the reports. After that, you will start learning what? Sharing the reports to the clients using what software? Power BI service. Power BI service you will learn for how many hours? 13 hours. Where you will learn what? Azure cloud concepts, admin concepts, and what? Power BI project. In this course is designed purely to keep how much experience? 3 to 5 years of experience minimum. So what add-ons you'll get from the course is you'll get what? Real-time projects. So this kind of projects you people will do. I'm just going to show you how the projects will look like. What is the title of this project is? The title of this project is what? Retail AB project. In this project, you will take the data from where? SQL Server database. As per the requirements, you will do ETL. As per the requirements, you will create OLAP database. As per the requirements, you will generate the reports like this. There will be a lot of requirements here. As per the requirements, we will develop the reports like this. The project document have how many pages? 26 pages. You will read the requirements in the 26 pages. You will develop the projects. Exactly same way you will develop the projects in the real time also. Okay. Now, before I explain remaining points, let's come here and try to understand who can learn Power BI. I'll explain remaining points, guys. Who are the people can learn Power BI? First category of people who can learn Power BI is what? Freshers. Freshers means who complete their education around 3 years. Around what? 3 years. They can be considered as a fresher. You completed your education in the year 2024 or 2025 or 2026. These people will be treated as what? Freshers, guys. So freshers have opportunities on Power BI. You can learn this Power BI course and you can try for the job as a fresher. The second category of people who can apply for Power BI jobs is what? Career break or career gap. So let's say you completed the education 5-6 years back. How many years back? Around 5 years or 5-6 years back. So you are not working anywhere. Can they consider as a fresher? Imagine you completed your education in 2020 year. Can I try to get the job as a fresher? No. Must and should you need to keep what? Experience. So you people will be treated as a career gap people. So most of the people who join this demo might be this career gap. So what you need to do is you need to learn this Power BI. After learning Power BI, you need to keep how many years of experience? Minimum 3 years of experience, and you need to try the job. Okay, you are not working anywhere. How you will get this 3 years of experience? There will be some consultancies who will provide the job, who will provide the experience, guys. You can reach out to the consultancy people. You can get that experience, and you learn this Power BI. You'll keep the. We'll talk about it. How to get it. So the third category of people who can learn Power BI is what? Career transition. What is this career transition is? Already you are working. You are working in some non-IT job, or some people are working in IT job, some old technologies. Let's say you worked in mainframe, you worked in manual testing. That mainframes, manual testing, this kind of jobs don't have opportunities in the market. You want to switch. You people comes under what? You are trying to do career transition. Now you people will learn what? Power BI. These people also don't get the job as a fresher on Power BI. These people also need to keep 3 to what? 5 years of experience. Let's say you totally working from last 10 years in the manual testing. Last 10 years you are working in where? Manual testing. Now you want to do the career transition into Power BI. Into where? Power BI. You will learn Power BI and you will tell 5 years you are working in manual testing. From last 5 years you are working in where? Power BI. In such a way, you need to keep the experience. Then only you'll get the job. Okay. So I'll tell you guys, these are the people eligible to learn what? Freshers have the opportunity. If you are a career break, you can learn Power BI and you can showcase experience. If you are doing career transition, it is suitable for you. So most of the people who learn this course, they want to keep experience. I know most of the people who join this course want to keep 3 to 5 years experience. Those people must and should need to know what? Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. When you go to any Power BI project, what are the roles and responsibilities you will have? You need to learn. I'm going to explain in this class. In any Power BI project, as a Power BI developer, what are your roles and Respond. Every roles and responsibility with practical real-time scenarios I'll explain. So once you know about roles and responsibilities, will help you in preparing what? Resume. For freshers, how to prepare the resumes. For career break people, how to prepare the resume. For career transition people, what way we need to prepare the resume. We'll talk to one-on-one, will help you. And we will provide what? Interview questions and we'll discuss them. We also conduct what? Mock interviews. So, and also all 60 hours of recorded sessions we'll share with you. Every class recording will get, you'll use it for your reference purpose. We'll have a separate what? Support team. When you are working, practicing, you got the questions. You don't need to wait for the trainer every time. You can reach out to whom? Support team, they'll clarify your questions. Okay. So I'll just come with the questions. First, a common question people will ask is any prerequisite to learn what? Power BI. A lot of people will have any prerequisite to learn Power BI. Okay, I'm from non-IT background. I don't have any computer knowledge. Can I go and learn Power BI? Yes, guys. In order to learn Power BI, there is no prerequisite to learn what? Power BI. Strictly, I can say, even you are from non-IT background, you can just join this course. I'll teach this course from very basics to project level. Okay, you join this course within 2 months, you thoroughly learn Power BI. What you will learn in the 2 months? In the 2 months, you will learn how to do what? Data analysis in the Power BI. Okay, you thoroughly learn within 2 months Power BI. By learning only Power BI, will you get the job? Means no. Okay, even though I learn Power BI for 2 months, when I apply for the job, I don't get the job only with what? Power BI. To get the job on Power BI, what is mandatory? SQL is mandatory. So try to understand, guys. This point is important. So if I go and search the Power BI jobs in Naukri or LinkedIn, if I search the Power BI jobs, 90% of Power BI jobs you will be having in the combination of what? Power BI plus SQL. Some jobs you will see Power BI plus SQL plus Excel. Some jobs Power BI SQL plus Python. Some jobs Power BI plus SQL plus Power Apps. Some jobs Power BI SQL ADF. Power BI SQL Tableau. I strictly say ignore this. Major major jobs are on combination of what? Power BI plus SQL. What is the SQL? Why SQL is required to get the job on Power BI? Let's try to understand. What is the SQL? Why SQL stands for what? Structured query language. It's a common language used in all the databases. Whether you are working in SQL Server database, Oracle database, DB2 database, MySQL database, all these databases will understand one common language called what? SQL. So to make anything in the databases, we need to write SQL code. SQL is a common language used in all the databases. Okay, that's fine. Now, why SQL is required for Power BI developer? So one thing, SQL I don't use anywhere in Power BI. SQL is not used to extract the data. SQL is not used to do ETL. SQL is not used to create OLAP database. SQL is not used to create reports. SQL is not used to publish and share the reports to the clients. Throughout the Power BI process, nowhere I'll use what? SQL. When I don't use SQL anywhere in the Power BI projects, then why in the Power BI jobs, if in Power BI, if you are using SQL, asking SQL skill is fine. I'm telling that we don't use SQL in Power BI, nowhere. But why they're asking SQL in Power BI jobs? You testing the data. What is the reason is, so you take the data, mostly Power BI developer will take the data from database. And in Power Query, he do ETL. Then in Power Pivot, he'll create OLAP. In Power BI, he'll generate the reports. How can he blindly tell the report is correct? So there are more chances you might do a mistake in Power Query. You might do a mistake in Power Pivot. There is a mistake in Power View. You might be showing wrong number here. Can I share the wrong reports to the clients? No, they'll take the wrong decisions. After I create the reports, I need to test that numbers are correct or not. What is the way we generally test it is, we'll go to the database. All the databases understand SQL. Using SQL, you will write queries. That queries will give some output. That output you will compare with what? Report output. So here, Power BI developer need to write some SQL queries and get some numbers. That numbers compare with what? Reports. Write that point. See here. So to develop the reports, we don't require what? SQL. Nowhere. Without knowing single line of SQL, I can develop the reports. But what? Test the data in the reports, we need what? SQL. So we have separate course. You will learn MySQL. Learn any database. In order to learn SQL, go and learn any database. SQL concepts are same. What is same? SQL is same. In our training institute, we teach what? MySQL, where you will learn SQL concepts for how many hours? 13 hours. You need to learn Power BI for how many hours? 60 hours. You need to learn SQL concepts for what? 30 hours. If you already know SQL, you people learn only what? Power BI. If you don't know SQL, must and should you need to learn Power BI and what? SQL. SQL is one of the important skill to get the job on any software job. No matter it is Power BI. You tell me any job. Java developer required what? SQL. .NET developer required what? SQL. Data scientist required what? SQL. Data analyst required what? SQL. No matter what job it is, almost every software job required what? SQL. Almost I can say, right? SQL is one of the important skill to enter into the IT, guys. So these are my friend desk team members. If you have any questions about these courses, you can talk to them. If you have any questions related to the demo, technical part, about the courses, about the fee, you can talk to the friend desk team. About anything, uh, about anything about the demo part, you can ask the questions. Because first I'll take the questions from online, then I'll come to the offline. Online people, please raise your hands if you have any questions. I'll ask one by one.